Oh, good morning to those in the diaspora. Today I get me own small tactics here. I for sale. Cause just now as I start soon, I don't want to begin blink. So we blink two per smack and they go to Airtel. I get a powerful phone when I to SIM. A powerful phone. And this phone you're not only work with, they do good things to them. So let me continue today. We'll get hot topics still. This not to the hot seat, but not the hot topics. Good morning once more, and I know soon have the waits for me for starts this episode around 7:30. But unfortunately, I don't make on time, but I there. With a fair time for make sure see, we pass on the information necessary. At times the soul is willing, but the body can tire. It's just like what they can say the vessel can tire, but the soul is willing. So I guess the soul is more thirsty than the body. So I still come and make sure say I continue for do what I do. Before we elaborate on Ethiopia, we go first talk small on Salone. And also about a video I posted yesterday. The soldier man who wanna see what they catch, them beats. The accuser saying that thief man actually a good thief, but we don't know the facts them based on this topic, So I want to give you a small hypothetical view before I continue. Sometimes governments, I want to listen keenly. This go for both of the institutions, them, the soldier or the military and the police. Inside Salone or Africa, what it look like? Anything about the police, yes, we get rights for talk. A policeman now with dirty pieces. But anything we can of results to the military, all man for fear for talk. All man for fear for talk. For talk because that's what German name. Because so they can kill you eventually. You go too much past certain things them, in Africa. When all them things there, the poor democracy. All them things there. Last week or two, I posted something about a police officer who beat a civilian mercilessly. All man be blood in the media, they go rampage. Without the text, that policeman they need for second, without the cost the policeman, all kind comments there I see. All kind comments in. And eventually they be suspend this policeman. So now we don't see, say, they catch a soldier man by uniform, surrounded by civilians them. He also hold a weapon. They say he go thief, he go try for rob. I guess civilians they attack him, end up for even busting it. It then a ground. Now in company soldier man can rescue him and disarm him back. So I tell God thank you first, this soldier man, but all when they catch him by thief, and not cock and weapon, and say like, go on the rampage. Because that crossed my mind. But why make this talk is so significant? Sometimes governments can hire. Now listen keenly now. Sometimes governments can hire civilians them who are not competent enough for be soldier or police. So man can go inside the institutions there based on sababu. We don't talk this before. And then one of can go inside the institutions there based on sababu. Now they can cause their habits or habitual crimes there. If you there inside Salone, if you know this by now, or if you don't hear this by now, most of the criminal activities the way they take place in net when they say thief money. Sometimes majority of the thief money they wear soldier man uniform or police uniform, go and intimidate people and rob them doing gunpoint or gun or under any kind of weapon. And I'm not just about gunpoint. Whether they're not cutlass, knife, or whatsoever. They if not take time, then go chop on the back. So whether they're not the reality on people remember where they serve the military or not, or maybe their relatives there way can take their uniforms and go use them, but that's the take place inside Salone. So this don't put panic to the people them, or we people them. Civilian they go do robbery. Then later you see, a military soldier man with uniform, they go do the same robbery. Or you see a policeman, they go do robbery. So if somebody can knock now, you don't want 2 o'clock than it, you go open, if you see yourself, you wear a uniform, No, me I not go open. Because I see you by uniform 2, 3 o'clock at night, I not see a truck, I not see enough people and for not see una legit. I'm not open. So this they take place inside saloon. For let una eyes them be widened. Because some people then dispute what we post. When I saw German business, they say we're not for poster. Lord will take time what we portray na the media. But also wait time reach for enter with President Dr. Julius Maada. What time reach for expose Dr. Julius Maada? Then they back okay. Or what time reach for expose also APC them. Then they back okay. So we can talk of Prezo, okay. We can talk of the police, okay. But the Sojamane will not for correct them. When I this make Abuan go inside the military, and even General Alpha, where they head the headquarters in Freetown, ask them personally if they watch me, or if I know I ask them personally what I be tell them. I say I want to enroll into this military force, into Salon military force. Why? Because I be think say they need a communication expert for sensitize the military personnel system. For me, they refrain from some of them things here. So Abuango be a communicator expert for try to rehabilitate the military. Now be my young conviction on it. And at that I be telling do me process. So we not get same thing there that take place in the salon. Now that's what Jaman na God na come bien. Whether na true talk or not, na God na come bien. By right, usa ebide so na a military vehicle for don't can pick them up. If you don't can pick them up, detain them, they for court martial them, etc., etc. But when I see say they walk out and say they put her inside keke for Kango, inside salon. So we need for they talk them truth there, yeah. But bad thing they take place in that salon. And sometimes not to the real Sojamane. Not to the real Sojamane. Sometimes at the fake Sojamane. But if this one can be in an area Sojaman, it need for suffer the consequences. Because now bad representation for the military. So we're not going to point finger up at the entire military staff members there, because we get good one there, we're patriotic, we're loyal. But we get the bad one there, we just join, we're ready for, make this soup dirty. And that's to take place. So, Lord will continue, and we're not going to stop for exposing anything where important, where they cause corruption inside Mama Salon. If Taz Muslims get on, Taz Muslims the poster. I don't care whether you be or how you think of it. Mrs. Awana to Noah, good morning, me darling, good morning. Mr. Almami Koroma, good morning. FS the boss, good morning. And to the rest of Una, good morning as well. And we don't get serious, for this program. And now they can talk of small, basic, present and, past as well. Small from the past and, in the recent and present or whatsoever. Now, look, it's, COVID-19. We'll begin to talk of the epidemic there. So, I want to give you small statistics on COVID-19. Then I go do a similarity or I go compare COVID-19 matter with Ebola case matters them. The total of death, the total of people that will be infected or whatsoever. So when I compare this, before I begin eat SLPP them seriously, because just don't begin a job right now by SLPP them. But I make low we clap for the small, we can to this epidemic. I make low clap for the small, I go tell you now why. That's mostly the man, yeah. The total cases for this COVID-19, total cases as of 2 days ago, 6,398. 6,398. The total deaths, people that don't die, 121. 121. Why make prescribe the numbers there? We know say Alusign and Alassign, APC and SLPP not criminal them. Not chief money. But the tell Ebola tanker, the amount of number there we get infected or people that will die, it be past this range. But I want to continue, so I will get to side they try for head. The total doses then given When I did the bots begin start, but we will still praise them small. The total doses given for this COVID-19 now 617,851. That repeats that again. The total doses they would have done give out to people there 617,851. This number is real. How many people in our salon will go testify say they don't go take this vaccine? How many? They say 617,000. You sure say even reach 500? But I sure say this really reach 500. Or them vaccine, yeah, maybe when I don't put them back in our storage, for just wait for small time. Later, when I sell them. When I sell them in the other countries, them. And, let's say people and just die, no matter anyway. Even though me not believe self in this vaccine, but I'm not sure say 617,000 people and take up. But now that's the ministry publicized. But that's claim. So they said the people were actually doses given 617. And actually, La recorrects this. They said the people that were fully vaccinated. So the doses that were not given, now 617,851. We don't giving out to people then, the doses them. But the one that were totally don't become fully vaccinated, don't take the complete vaccination. I believe maybe now 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know how many times, but they say again, now 251, no, this is 2% mark. This is not the entire population for the 251,254% of population. 251,000 of still Sierra Leone. I saw I think I did mismanage your information. Pardon me, so 251,854 people again, we don't fully become vaccinated inside Salone. My apologies for just get this correct. But the total doses given are 617,000. So now 3.2% of the total population don't become vaccinated out of 100. 3.2%. Okay. So now let me continue here. Worldwide, with this epidemic, now 251 million people don't become affected. Worldwide. 251 million people affected. And the total of death, again, now 5.7 million. 5.7 million people that don't die by COVID-19. And 251 million affected. So you don't mean say when you become affected, it go carry you, it go kill you. It all depends again your system. So again, my apologies about that small, misconception based on the previous information. I'll be try for pass on to now about the figures them, but we don't clarify that so far. So now we'll move on to the next time. So what's me want to say, parent things there, and I add par the APC Leone during Ebola time. From May 2014 to November 2015, about 14,000 cases there. So for 1 year span, now 14,000 cases them, we can to Ebola. And during SLPP time, we can to COVID-19, now 6,334 total cases then so far. A big difference. And then also we'll talk of the deaths. Ebola time, APC time, now 4,000 deaths them. 4,000 people then die. Yes. COVID-19, SLPP time, now just 121 people then die. A big gap difference. So I go say, both them political entities they exploit, but at least, SLPP, they minimize on a number there, wouldn't they submit? Because if they want to make this also fearful, therefore don't add more numbers than per this tier for try to get more donation or more help. Well, it all depends now on how the world they look at the sick, whether a very serious still or not. But when I say the numbers they're very minimal. So what's how I emphasize? APC wanna capitalize per Ebola. But could people not be die per because of the sick. Something back also take place inside Salone. during Ebola time. Sierra Leoneans them, they be they catch them. Where they go pour chemical on people in water well for kill people them. This also be they take place during Ebola time. Go pour chemical on people in water well for kill people them. Then they blame on Ebola. Then people also be they die out of natural causes. Where die out of natural causes, they add and say na Ebola. So anything way bang you, any breeze way pass you, na Ebola. So let me just end down for say APC capitalized during Ebola time. Maybe more than SLPP their own time per COVID-19. So what's our states now? Let me tell APC and SLPP then thank you, yeah? Let me tell them thank you for the exploitation. You know, what's in the people then deserve, they need to get some. What's in there for what they fetch for help them people then, the service level for the render, people then need to get some. You know, all this not just political gain. You know, for be profited by with leaders them. But some things they want to clarify too now before we hit the next topic. Now I make sometimes some of the ministers them, they can broke after power. They can broke, but not can get money. Sometimes some ministers they cannot retire, they cannot come on power. They also can vex. Can vex. Why? Because as long as you're not the leader, meaning you're not the president, you're able to take advantage not to just number by the people the way they serve, but also by your ministers. They control them like puppets. I give you a few examples them. And I go point finger by APC on this. Because I know few ministers them where they go through this predicament. What time reach for campaign or what the time don't reach near? You know? APC and SLPP. 2017, 18, etc. You know what's happened? Most of the ministers there, now they pull back the money for invest in the party for the coming election. Now so corruption big within we country. The presidents don't sit down, and as by command don't sit down for 5 years, 10 years, then they will put money aside for say this now for we party, or we all go to add or we all go to help or contribute. So where elections can come, and this will go use for fund elections for continue. Then political parties they need to do so, both APC and SLPP. They wait till time reach near, what the time reach? Pressure can here. They say pressure bust pipes. They begin put pressure on the ministers them. So now the ministers they all what's in they make slowly, gradually. They go for donate them back to the party because you ain't not doing. They say you're not patriotic or you're not loyal to the party. So now automatic suspension. Maybe if the party win again, you're not going to sit down inside power again. They're not going to make you a minister because you not put your money for sponsor the business. So they invest the money them. Eventually the party lost. What the party lost, so man get hope. When you hope we get for another 5 or 10 years, you hope don't go. So this they take place inside politics. So who always can benefit? I want to make you understand now. Now the president and the vice president, or maybe few ministers, them, but not to the entire cabal. The entire cabal, they get the weak one with the mass. You know, you're not too significant. You would just encourage yourself or give you a minister position or a deputy minister position. You know, when the time reach, now on our back for make sure say on our poor money use how the worker. If that's not take place, when I go be any boss. So on our understanding thing there inside politics, huh? It happen. So if we see conflicts that take place in within APC right now, not so just based on leadership, also based on financial aspects. You know, how the movements will continue, would I go sponsor, would I go invest, you know, etc., etc. So now we continue. Then we're going to talk small before I hit the next page. ACC and MCC. You know, I don't hear deliberations there on the radio based on this MCC. Excuse me once more. And beaucoup people inside Sierra Leone don't even know what's not the MCC. Beaucoup people them. Some they know what's not ACC. But let's get straight to the point to make them quick and short, and direct and forward to them. ACC again, Anti-Corruption Commission, you know that. We're not Ben Kelfala, Mr. Ben Kelfala, na in the other institution for now. A young gentleman, another puppet, what they use as a puppet. Then MCC, again, this not the Millennium Challenge Corporation. The Millennium Challenge Corporation. What's this Millennium Challenge Corporation there for? And who that they actually gets this Millennium Challenge Corporation? Or who that they, let me say, founder? Now listen, before I continue for make this talk serious, yeah? MCC again, Millennium Challenge Corporation, now a United States Foreign Aid Agency. A United States Foreign Aid Agency. Now listen, just like we then gets the UN, or the European Union system. Now let we continue. And would I establish established by the US Congress. This is very deep. This what I was just telling us. So would I establish established by the US Congress. In America, we begin talk of the US Congress. Now you don't like open a small or open a eastern small, yeah. The US Congress, this now lawmakers them. Now the one that they make law in America, the Congress. The rednecks them. The white supremacists them. The people well now the white liberations, the white people always for can force or they up. Now then they also make things take place around the world. The Congress, the US Congress. So if nine people establish this body, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, for what thing? For go give foreign aid to people now the diaspora, another exploitation. See the colonial thing still a work. I don't know why make takes the we leaders they know they understand. We get the United Nations, now a colonial trap. We get the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Them back don't follow the same method for this colonial trap. Now colonialism, they pa trap we. We get the Chinese money also where they pa colonize certain areas in Africa in a civilized manner, Now we get the United States. We already know the United States, but they play inside. But this, again, this MCC, they undercover, not like a ghost. People need to notice them. They really need to notice them. And one thing about this MCC, NSA would say U.S. Embassy Day, then did it. So about almost, we can say, 46 countries there, they under this, MCC. About 46 countries there, where they under MCC. Where MCC they render service or help to. And most of them countries there are in Africa. So again, open na is there or is there for more enlightenment. We not the, I don't know how I put on, we not the puppets there or the toys there what they use for playing game. Now we this what they use. The Middle Easterns there they use we. The Americans there they use we. The Europeans there they use we. Now the Chinese man and back they use we. All man they colonize we and use we. Based on poverty. Because of poverty. And the more certain today that make una enlighten more. If America developed today, you see high-rise building them, you see bridges them, you see they live fancy. Every fancy thing where they inside America come out in Africa. All the raw materials them na Africa then pull them. The time where America no be now for build sky and scrapers them or high-rise building them. Wanna both force them and need timbers them. They colonize back Africa, they cut back off with timbers them, they ship and go inside America, they go build their houses them and offices them, etc. What they need iron. iron ore, then cancer Africa, they exploit we, then ship we products in, they go find way for convert this iron ore for create scrapers them, etc. etc. With minerals them, with golds and diamonds them, all lay Europe. Because they know how for, polisher. From the raw products to what's in the want time, what's in the actualize and for be. So they know how for create the final product. Now they make the always they can for can't take and can go. All the resources now they don't make America, Europe, or even China, they can grow. Africa man and resources. Because of we poor leaders them. And now I even use this word again, corruption, not just poor management. We don't know how to manage nothing in South Africa. Huh? Now the reality is in this. So this MCC, what's in them do recently? They even score Madabio high. Now this all man they complain about. They say Madabio in governance, okay. Then get a thumbs up. They say democracy inside salon, okay. All this because then gets their own selfish interest. The United States. And what's happening is there? Even the embassy of the United States, now they post this. Then they now Babel now, they offer them blood them for can donate na salon to the fire victims them. That's they take place in America. And I believe say that they cooperate also the Sierra Leoneans them for go donate some blood for the victims in a salon. But what's here again happen? Some of them victims they are, who the fire be born, who they be go admit Friday. Some man by Saturday, they say them discharge them. Mother being government is not funny. But good donations don't come. So una not able to allow them man there for even they don't serve in hospital for 1 week or 2 weeks. But just give them medical treatments or concern. The one they wanna know say they get family, they get people there, una dismiss them the next day. Say una go na house. We go contact una. If anything we will do na help now na host them. If that's possible again, I don't see few videos them, few interviews them, where people and then they host them. After Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then dismiss Boku for go and they host. Then we'll get tons of help don't come out from the UN, United Emirates. They can't see there. Government's not even supposed to depend on also the hospitals. You can create a temporary camp, a facility. You go admit 10 people there, give them all the necessary treatments possible. Not to alone. So again, the MCC, they clap for Madabio. I don't know for clap for Madabio, but MCC they clap for ya. This is not problem. Because if the United States thinks all is well with Sierra Leoneans them, not then they feel we struggle with them, it's sad. It's sad. And I hate this word they can use for with the Africans, especially inside Salon. When something bad they take place, the white man also can use her. Say Salon man were very, very resilient. You see, partners, they use all the time. We're not resilient people, we're not strong people, we able that. Now foolish word. Now foolish word. Why make we always be resilient? Why make we always for the beer? Why make we always for the suffer? Huh? We don't tire for being resilient. They fool the people there. They fool the masses. Now I will continue. Huh? Today na Friday. And at times I can make Friday my day off, but it's not impossible. Because even if one of my day off, things still come up. Things can still come up. But let we continue. Now let we go inside Ethiopia. What's in they take place inside Ethiopia? But before I hit the nail on what's in they take place inside Ethiopia, I just want to give you 7 facts them about Ethiopia. 7 facts them. They're very important. What I think say some they know and some they don't know. Because I can also give you small background or small history on the country before I can talk of the issues them. But we're not going to do that today, but as time progresses, we'll talk of Ethiopia. But still, I'll be listening to history, so I'll give you. Good morning, Mrs. Aisha Sise. And good morning to you. And to the one who also just joined me, and good morning to Una. So 7 facts about Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they don't want to colonize Ethiopia. The Europeans them, the whites them, the France them, nobody not be ever able for colonize Ethiopia. Now the only country this now the world we colonize, we will not ever colonize. Free from colonialism. Colonialism. Excuse me pronunciation again this morning. You know. And this is great. A great but conflicts and deep in within the country and region. You know? Why make Ethiopia they not be ever able for colonize them? Before I give you the other 7 factors them, they wanna go understand. Ethiopia gets a big landscape. You know? A major country. Major country. And also, what I go and say before I continue, we get Itri near Ethiopia, Uganda near Ethiopia, Djibouti, it is near also Ethiopia, and Djibouti they near Yemen. Yemen now you go to the Middle East. You get Sudan and South Sudan near Ethiopia, Somalia near Ethiopia, Kenya, it is bottom of the map of Ethiopia. Then you get the Red Sea where they in between Ethiopia and Saudi Arabia and Yemen. And this Red Sea where you facing the Middle East, so the Middle East and Europe, now they access this. Europe and Middle East, it's easy follow you get there from Ethiopia. So during slavery days or during the ancient days over the talk of Egypt, it'd be easy for maneuver slaves them or take the white slaves them from Europe also first and come inside Egypt. So why make Ethiopia very significant? Why make them very significant? Why? I believe say also history, as we can talk, after the blacks them through the ancients, they move them away from Egypt. Some they end up for go east. I believe say majority also move inside Ethiopia. But could go settle inside Ethiopia. And when I go see why. When I go see why, make I go tell you so. The whole entire African region, Ethiopia gets the largest groups of people them with the largest numbers of languages them. That means Boku languages them, Boku tribes. Let me continue. Ethiopia they observe 13 calendar month. We all observe 12 months per the year. Inside Ethiopia, then they observe 13 calendar month per year. So this down puts them 7 years behind per the regular calendar where they practice, But also it beneficial to them because doing their own seasons them, tourism or whatsoever, they get 13 months of sunshine. That means, what the place can warm. Summertime. 13 months of summertime. So to the next also, they gets the most UNESCO World Heritage Sites on the continent. The most UNESCO World Heritage Site on the continent. From religious sites them to natural areas them or sites them. Meaning, UNESCO, we don't know what's that UNESCO again, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. What in this represent? They call the talk of history. Then gets, cites them about ancient history, about natural things them also created by God or man or whatsoever, within an country. All the religious sites them. And when I not forget, say inside Ethiopia also, religion, and one of the places this way it grow, parts of Egypt. Most of the ancient building they are, church they are, whatsoever, it take place also inside Ethiopia. And we will discuss on that in the future as time progresses. So when it comes to religious, they get a great contribution to the church. I'll make them know that. And also, again, I don't emphasize on this, over 80 languages are spoken inside Ethiopia. Over 80 languages there. So Salon, we never play around with maybe 15 or so, or maybe less, or 20. This now over 80 languages them. inside Ethiopia. You know? And we can talk of the mountains there. Say, oh, we get mountains, then a Salone, we not lie on mountains, then blah, blah, blah. We just take a player. They say half of Africa, the mountains, them. Half. Listen now. Not to 1/4. They say half of Africa mountains, them. They inside Ethiopia. So the rest of Africa, they share the other half. The other half, only inside Ethiopia. You know, half of the mountains, too. All the inside Ethiopia. You know, 70%, you know, of African mountains, them. They inside Ethiopia. Also, the first African for win Olympic gold medal was an Ethiopian. The first African, you know, for win Olympic, you know, gold medal was an Ethiopian. 1960 in Rome, you know, the Summer Olympic, you know, a gentleman win that, and the gentleman named now Abibi Bikila, Bikila. You know, he win this this gold medal around 1960, you know, inside Rome, the Summer Olympics. And let me continue. Ethiopia, one of the oldest countries them, or the oldest countries them, founded in Africa, as history states. Ethiopia is Africa's oldest country, originally founded around 980 BC. The oldest African country, originally founded around 980 BC. Now the oldest independent nation on the continent, because they never colonized them. And Ethiopia also, now they gets the most ancient human being discovered. That means the remains of the people that were don't die. And it gets the oldest dead body where they don't discover, where they don't investigate, say, this time out at the first mortal man in this will exist, or we can to the first almost to mortal man we exist. You know, the feminine body then inside Ethiopia. You know? And also, last but not least, over 106 million people and they live inside Ethiopia. 106 millions of people they live inside Ethiopia. It's very important for telling other information there. Because before I talk of the crisis, if finally you know then things there. Maybe now you will understand why make the conflict, you know, enormous inside Ethiopia. Why make they always go through conflict? Over 80 languages them. Over 106 millions of people, 106 millions of people where they live inside it, you know. And one of the oldest, you know, countries in Africa. So, I don't know how to align this, how to prescribe this information to now. Egypt and Ethiopia, be they correlate and be they coexist at the same time. Lady white man not try for full we or full una. Egypt and Ethiopia be they exist or correlate at the same time. They were ancient. And I mean say oh people and be they just they go inside Egypt, people that not be they live at this African coast. Would I think say people that not be they live at the African coast? When I get that wrong. Well, one time make you understand. Africa already beyond they exist. It's Africa. People are not begin start search for migrate kind of West Africa. I go say maybe not few, because the other country gets a long history inside Africa, yeah, the Ghanaians them and the Nigerians them, the kings and queens them. They get a long history that even we Salone. That's tell this today, or even Guinea. Ghana gets a long history, but Africa man they live inside East Africa. They believe also inside North Africa. They believe also inside Egypt. They believe also inside Ethiopia, Somalia, all the countries they are be there. And all the countries they are be they complement Egypt. Egypt will be Babylon, will be heaven. All man go inside Egypt. Where they in peace with the emperors there inside Egypt, or the conquest them, or the conquerors them. Maybe who say you there, you know, you will get more security. But all man be they complement Egypt. So if they say Ethiopia is one of the oldest African countries in the world. I want to lie. Because now God then creates the earth. All side they exist. All side people then be there. Now I make the white man no much or no able go deep into the Asians, their history, the Chinese man, their history. Because Temba gets a profound history way deep. Maybe before even their own time, before even the white man they begin, calling themselves white. And I make known I know one thing, say the white man and be barbarians them. Inside UK, America, and be barbarians them. What's in them be good for? For facts and killing themselves. What's in me they sell inside Europe or America? Now alcohol. And then tell them enough for make beverages them. Make alcohol for intoxicating people them. Make weapons them for facts themselves. Now make in the ancient days, they began so many cowboys them. Now be hooligans them. Now be criminals them. Any kind criminal name where you want tied to them what manner, yeah, they don't begin any ethics. The whites them. They don't begin any morals. But I make Luna gets this. So when they talk of civilization, the black man be don't civilize before the white man. I make Luna know this. But they're not going to tell Luna this. They will continue for full Luna, through history. Now what's in their rights because then they create history. So if now they create history and now be the toilet's bad, you think I go tell you all me toilet? Pass urea with yourself. Let me continue here. So what's now they take place inside Ethiopia? Hundreds of fighters them. They prepare for fight. Hundreds of fighters them. Different groups them. Different rebel groups them. Men and women them. Specifically on this group. The Oromo Liberation Army. Them back don't pick up arms inside Ethiopia. They don't pick up arms for federal government. But another vital group there with the federal government currently. The one they are them back just they add to the burden. Other one in there. What are these Oromo people them? Now the Orala people them, which was the tribe, the Orola people them, a tribe. Then say the Oromo people them, they don't say where they oppress them inside Ethiopia. They don't say whether they face oppression inside Ethiopia for century or maybe for more than a century. So them back don't tire. And this liberation army, they be first created inside 1970. In the 1970s, then they first create this liberation army. But most of the man and woman in our way don't pick up arms. They're not be even born at 8th century. But they don't come back for establish, and take grounds again based on the current or the previous movement, for continue. So, most, as Ethiopians, they face, challenges again with several groups them. Let me continue. We'll get the Tigray group. And the Tigray group, this is another massive, rebel squad. Then they do, massive killings. Massive killings. The Tigrayan rebels them. The defense against the government troops them. Not the north. So what's in the human rights abuse people and they complain so far inside Ethiopia? They say the authorities them, then they do a discriminatory killings. Now listen to this, so not blame the rebel again. They say authorities them, then they do discriminatory killings and mass arrest. That means that they kill people them based on discrimination. Since this did not become a tribal issue, we don't talk of the Orele people them, the Orele people them. They will get the Tigrayan people them or the Tigrayan rebels them, maybe in a different tribes them harmonized together as Tigrayan. They will get the Orele people them as well. So the military they spear now anybody. And this I make you understand. I make I explain and so. The military they spear anybody. So if you're not a member of this tribe, Orela or Oreli, they see you some side, they kill you. I watch a clip where they hold two young guys them, when members of this tribe here, they escort them go to the bush. As they reach there, Sunan fire them. As they reach Sunan fire them. So they make the the human rights group them, that they active that they pioneer for this cause. Based on activism. That they pioneer for this cause because the discriminatory killings there, Ibaku, a rampart. Not to the rebel again, they kill you. You just need to belong to a certain tribe. They will kill you. And mass arrest. Arrest people them. This will take place inside, Ethiopia. But the government will tell people and say, then they target civilians. Not to civilians, then they target. But people there will don't run go inside Kenya because Kenya na border, na neighbors there with Ethiopia. The people them, refugees they will don't run go inside Kenya. Then they complain, say the government really they threaten them. They say government threaten them, the civilians them. So I make them back run, come out and go to Kenya, for their own safety. So now this they take place inside Ethiopia. So two types of rebel groups them, the Tigrayan rebel groups them, and the Orele people them, the Orele people them are the Oroma Liberation Army Front. They back don't pick up arms. And then people there, the Oroma Liberation Army Front them, now Rastaman and Baku. Most of them get that. They get a tradition where they dress. See that one they're unique and different. The Oromo Liberation Army. They get something special where they dress. But now this they make Africa to go beyond. They say previously then people there, the Oromos them, then creates this group here around the 1970s. The founders them. Then young youth there not even know the reason or the main reason why they be found this group here in the 1970s. Now then back down pick up arms for fight against oppression. They don't claim say they oppress them. So again, we Africans them, we need to forgive. Anything what they don't do to one tribe, and they remain in our minds and our hearts them, and we teach that to we picking them, and as time progress, then back they pick up arms one day for go against government and rebel. And that's to take place inside Ethiopia. We'll not get any forgiving acts inside Africa. So now, different groups then don't pick up arms. And over 80 languages them. This is not chaos. Ethiopia way for sets, examples them passe. A country will not one day, colonized by the Europeans them. But why make they not be able to colonize, Ethiopia? It's simple, that's common sense. People that be inside there, na big country. It not be easy for go dominate them. They be able to go dominate any country is small, where they be able to go place the military personnel them and maneuver them. But inside Ethiopia, it be enormous, over 1 million population. Different tribes them. So they tell the European masters there or the conquerors there, if we go attempt that, if we conquer them. If Boku will be die inside Ethiopia. So no one even attempts that. I believe maybe they attempt that, but they not say that we not go succeed. So they withdraw. They say logo other side. So now that's not the fact. Ethiopia, when I look at the map inside Africa, one of the biggest landscape. And some them go say Ethiopia, half of it almost there inside Middle East. So well, not so half, but some portion of it almost inside Middle East. So African history is deep, and as time progress, I go to unfold some of them things here. There's some of them back no, But now these are the basic way they take place inside Ethiopia. Tribal issues all over Africa. Now tribal issues, tribal sentiments, tribal war, tribal faith, advantage, oppression, all them nonsense things they make we affect yourself every day. Because the white man, we don't ignite the fear. They don't create the chaos already. They don't instigate we. What's in the white man do before I left when I go? And the wisdom make it hit me sometimes so. The entire Africa who gets there with gold, with diamond, all that thing there, we get riches. But you know what somebody know when they polish something and don't know what he really gets. Now that's take place. We get diamonds and we get all the riches them, but it not be polished enough for we no say we get riches them. Or this night something we wealthy. So what's the white man do? They can then take and they go polish them, they come back and sell them to it. Now we eye the door open. It's just like what they say Adam and Eve. What Allah tell and say that apple, when I not eat out, when I eat out, when I go see clear, when I go know, evil. But man not rebel. Man not listen. Man rebel and eats the apple and the eye open. So now that's why it's man do to Africa man. They open we eye to riches. They open we eye to other things them. So now Africa man wants more. Huh? The same way Africa man be content, it not be enough. Now they don't make we become more thirstier, more hungrier, more determined. They don't corrupt to minds and we soul. When they fight for this same diamond or gold, we still sell and give them. But when they don't go refund, rebuild or polish what they don't take from we they go fight for obtainer. We they go die for her. Africa will get beaucoup for Lanya. So that left for now. We'll continue to elaborate some more as time progress. Allah will continue to incite me, and I will continue to preach the message. So when I get a blessed Friday, when I don't forget to go pray. You don't need to go to mosque to go pray. You can still in a tight corner and pray. While they come up, some person may tell me say, for call Allah in himself na toilet, na aram. Well, that person there, na you aram. Because in the end side, you call Allah in him. There was a time where I put Allah in him, a tattoo on my body. They say na aram. I look that person there, I say na you aram. Because I don't even see Imam them back the door. The way you love Allah. Before I go put something foolish na my hand, I say the Allahu Akbar. So man, they say, hey, aram. So, I want to make you believe, say, you can hear any side, you call Allah. That's not aram about that. Huh? That's not aram about that. Some man they say what they do, if you don't in the toilet, or maybe if you pee yourself, not call Allah in name day. Well, what make you for call Allah in name where they die? But when they do the natural things when I go and create you, they shouldn't for call Allah day. Not afraid for call Allah any outside. Huh? Feel free. When I get a blessed table. Now, when I boy again, Charles Muslims, the servant, aka Bepeko.